So we are back from our Pacific Coast bike route, bike tour, and today I want to talk about the reality of traffic on the Pacific Coast bike route, because traffic on this route is no joke. So I'm going to share some clips, some videos, and I'm also going to share the tricks that we found to avoid the traffic. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. Okay, trick number one might seem really obvious, but it's extra important on this route. Visibility, okay? You need to have neon clothes, bright flashing lights, even during the day. And remember that on the Pacific Coast, fog comes in really quickly and sometimes out of nowhere. So you need to have a flashing light on the back of your bike at all times. Bright clothes. If you're buying new panniers or bike bags for this trip, buy them in a bright color. Ours are mostly black, and I really wish that we'd had them in a bright color. We did add neon visibility tape to the back of the bags, and I would recommend you do that. Okay, so I want to be real about the Pacific Coast bike route. You hear that traffic? We're on a hill that is very steeply graded for a long way. Sometimes you are probably going to push, and I'm going to show you the traffic. All right, number two, and this one's huge. Get up with the sun. Get up as soon, even before the sun comes up, actually. We were setting our alarm for maybe an hour before sunrise so that we could get up, have something to eat, pack up, and be on the road as the sun was coming up. The thing about the Pacific Coast bike route, you're on the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway. It's a really popular tourist highway, but most tourists don't even wake up until 9:30, 10, so traffic really starts to pick up around 11 a.m. noon. So if you can get most of your cycling for the day done by then, you're going to have such a pleasant experience. Plus, it means that you get to see some amazing things early in the morning. Wildlife that normally you won't get to see because the traffic scares it off. And it's just you on the road, which feels amazing. So it's well worth getting onto a sunrise schedule.
Wow, this is incredible.
So beautiful. Cool arch. So it's 7 a.m. and usually we get up about 5 o'clock, have coffee. And the sun comes up about a little after 5, so it's usually getting light, and then we get going. Tip number 3, get flexible. Be flexible with your plan. So for instance, we were cycling over June, July, and so that's a really busy time traffic-wise on the coast. Any holiday time is going to be. And on the 4th of July, the days around the 4th of July, we had to switch our plan up. We had to get really flexible because there were just so many RVs. And on the Pacific Coast Highway, so on the Pacific Coast bike route, the number one hazard for you is going to be RVs, recreational vehicles, including like people towing big four-wheelers on trailers, because these are not professional drivers. The big 18-wheelers that come by, they really know what they're doing. They give you space, they know the size of their vehicle. But the RVs and the recreational vehicles, that's where they only drive these things every once in a while, and they don't always know how wide they are. So you have to be really careful next to them because it's not uncommon for them to go over the line and into the shoulder. So being flexible with your plan is huge, because if it's a day where suddenly there's just a ton of recreational vehicles, it's a good idea to get off the road and just enjoy the coast for the day. We are at Honeyman State Park, just south of Florence, Oregon, and it is July 3rd, Saturday. And we did not plan to stop here. We were gonna go another 25 miles to the next hiker biker, but it's 4th of July weekend on the coast and traffic got really intense. We got up at 7 o'clock this morning to do a really hilly section that takes you through a tunnel with no shoulder. And we did that way before the traffic picked up, which was great. But once we got to Florence, the traffic got pretty gnarly, and we decided that it was probably better to spend the rest of the day relaxing in this really beautiful, I don't know if you can see our tent back there, this really beautiful hiker biker site. Yeah, and tomorrow morning we're gonna get up at set our alarm for 5 a.m. and get up before the 4th of July traffic starts again and go probably a good long way. I think we're thinking we'll do 45 miles tomorrow. But yeah, the traffic on the coast at any time in the summer is pretty intense, which is why we haven't done this trip in the summer in the past. But July 4th weekend is, I think, the busiest weekend of the year out here on this highway. So really good time to just not be on the road in the afternoon with all the RVs. So here we are. And this is just a lesson in be flexible about the plan. That's one of our biggest things. If something doesn't feel right or we need to switch something up, we're really flexible with our plan. And that's why we always give ourselves plenty of time. A lot of our travel, we don't even set an end date. I think we're gonna walk it because it's the 4th of July today, which is not the ideal time to cross a 1.5-mile bridge. Traffic is nuts. So there's a sidewalk. We'll just walk our bikes, no problem.
It's been a week.
Okay, so in summary, the 3 tricks. Visibility, number 1. Number 2, get up with the sun, get up early, beat the traffic. And number 3, be flexible and be willing to change your plan when you need to stay safe. And enjoy your ride.